welcome to the Jennifer O'Brien Show. I'm your host, Jennifer O'Brien. Wow, you came back again. Or maybe this is your first time listening. Either way, thanks for tuning in. And I would just like to ask if you are listening on Apple iTunes, if you could please leave me a 5-star review. That would be most appreciated. And if you're like, you don't deserve 5 stars, then just don't say anything at all. You can just leave it blank. But if you could, that would help. And or wherever you're watching this, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, wherever it goes, a kind review would be nice. I hope I can read it. I don't know. Sometimes I do these apps and I don't know where all of this goes. So if you have left a review and I haven't read it, thank you so much. But anyway, let me just talk about that for the first 10 minutes, about how I don't understand technology. No, yes, it is a challenge, but I'm figuring it out, so that's great. So anyway, it's just me, myself, and I. And, the beauty of doing a podcast from home, I think I'm hearing the trash truck outside, the cat's meowing, and I'm pretty sure the dog's going to bark to come inside in just a minute. So it's so much fun. So it's just a lot of different things circling around my head. And which there's always a lot circling around and in my mind. And it's a busy little bee in there. Yeah. And so cool. Well, it's just me, so it feels kind of weird just trying to not ask any questions to anybody, which I didn't always want it to be like that. Like, I like the interviews, but I do want to be able to pop in here and just talk. If somebody wants to hear that, I don't know. I don't even know if that is exciting or not. So anyway, I'm just doing it regardless. Right. Okay. So I've asked for the reviews. Check. So I'll just get caught up on what's been going on with me. I got the COVID a couple weeks ago at the beginning of October. So that was a great way to usher in this month. And, my husband and I both ended up having it, and, we did early treatment, and, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a virus and it wasn't fun, but, it's just like being sick, but I still can't, I can kind of smell, I just got to get right up on stuff. That's slowly coming back. The taste still is a little wonky. That's pretty much the only lingering after effects I can say, which is great because I have friends that are some of the long haulers that continue to have symptoms. Which happens, but viruses go after the liver. So, best thing you could do for that is work to cleaning up your liver and, helping your liver to kind of heal, because, a good liver, a good healthy liver helps your body emit viruses and different, infections and all that. So that's my little plug. It's a little bit I know. I don't know a ton, but, I get pretty into reading a lot of health books and alternative natural remedies and all that good stuff. So, and there's a lot of information, good stuff out there, and a lot of great books out there. So that was fun. Actually, it wasn't fun. I shouldn't make fun of it. There's a lot of, I didn't mind being the sick part where I laid in bed with a little fever and watched TV. I could make it rain with that. That's not the problem. The hard part was when I was actually no fever, getting better, and I was really like angry for a whole week. Like, not just like, like 0 to 90, like really quickly. So it felt like high school, honestly, all over again. I was a very angry teenager. So it just felt like my teen years and my early 20s all over again. So that was fun. Just getting irritated. And unfortunately, that's when my husband had COVID. So I was trying to take care of him and get better myself. But we're all good. Everybody's healthy, and I'm very grateful. And yeah, it's kind of some crazy times we're in. Sometimes I don't know what to do with myself. Sometimes I just don't. Like, I'll go on and I'll be watching, reading different articles, seeing what's going on with the mandates, checking in with Italy, Australia, and you're just like, what's going to happen here in the States? And like, one minute they're like, man, you got to prep, you got to get ready, get your permit, get your carry permit, all that stuff. And then the next minute I'm like, I need to be working on my comedy show. And then I'm like, is anybody going to be coming to comedy? I mean, like it's this weird, like, world we live in. Like, some people are like, oh, it's all good, we're all back out here, everything's opening up, it's all open up, just go for it, jump in the waters, they're great. And then other people are like, yep, the water is tainted, you can jump in it, but you will probably drown and die, so prepare to drown and die. So it's like, I don't know. And it's hard to know from one day to the next. Like, what should I be doing now? Like, should I be stocking up on beans and rice and learning how to filter water? Or should I be, just continuing to plan a vacation for 2022 for me and my husband and our 21st wedding anniversary? Or, it's just weird. I don't know if anybody struggles with that kind of like, wait, are we happy? Are we not? It's just a weird time. And then it's there's a scripture. It's like, mourn with those who mourn. And it's hard, when people are really struggling right now. And it's a really sad time for these mandates. And sometimes I can't believe what I'm watching in the news. And the cat's trying to mess with the lighting. No, Charlie. Come here, Charlie. Try to show you the cat. Come here. Yeah, he doesn't really come when he's called. Come here. I just have to act like, let him want to attack me. Now, if he sees like he can attack me, he might come this way. I'll just dangle a tissue. Try to bring him over here. And that seems to be working. And let me grab Charlie, and you can see what Charlie looks like. Now, oh gosh, he loves the microphone. Yeah, forgot. He's taken this thing a few times. Okay, that's enough. He took the microphone cushion the other day and just walked in my room with it. And I'm like, okay. And that's why it's covered in dog hair and little holes, because Charlie thinks this is a chew toy. Anyway, yes, mourn with those who mourn. People are losing their jobs. People are not wanting to get this vaccine, so therefore they're being punished. And like, where am I taking crazy pills? Like, why are we forcing people to do something they don't want to do? Oh, that's what governments do. And it's just really sad. And I'm just, and I could tell you who suffers the most are the people that need to keep food on the table. Single moms. Oh my God, the cat's attacking my back. Oh geez. Like, it's all sunshine and rainbows until the cat attacks your back. Okay, Charlie, no, that's too much. Jeez, like, isn't that, like, he's great? It's not the dog. Like, the dog, it's a different PTSD that I get from the cat. Okay? Like, that just kind of comes out of nowhere and you're getting attacked. Like, the dog just barks really loud. So, anyway, it's just a really crazy time. I don't know if anybody else struggles with trying to figure out what we're supposed to be doing next. I don't know. Buy an umbrella for the beach or a gun. I don't know. Like, what? Anyway, I could probably try to work on some with that. I've got earrings on today. They're really big, like Jody Watley hoops. Remember Jody Watley from the 80s? Am I saying her name? Watch me be saying her name wrong. Like, that's the age I'm at. I just butcher things all the time. So, yeah. I was going to talk a little bit about healing and just what I'm currently, I try to share a lot about my growing up and stories, things that I went through, and I feel like I've healed from a lot of it. So I'm on the other side of a lot of things. So I can really talk a lot openly more about them. I used to just say, oh yeah, I had a crazy childhood. Now it's like, oh, you want the details? And I talk more in detail about different things. And I think I've talked about my kidnappings Dateline babysitters. I mean, I think I've covered it all here. Anyway, I'm just kind of afraid the cat's going to come at me again. I'm not going to lie. See, what happens is you heal from trauma, and then life hands you new trauma. And it's just a constant dealing with trauma. We went to see a high school play this week, and those high school kids. It was a scary play. It was my daughter's friend was in it from church, and it was about this woman going into a mental institution in the 1700s. It was beautiful, and all the patients were just, I didn't know if they were possessed or patients, a little bit of both, I'm sure. And I got to watch that for an hour. So I got to leave that play with some new trauma, which right when they open it up, they're like, this is, about mental health and awareness. And now we're going to freak you out and scare you. And that's what they did for an hour, these high schoolers. And I think they enjoyed it. They really enjoyed scaring the audience for an hour and terrorizing us and yelling and all that. So, yeah, I was not a drama kid growing up. But I appreciate these drama kids bringing new trauma in my life. So anyway, yeah, I'm seeing a new counselor. I've been seeing her at the beginning of the year. Oh, I haven't talked about this. For years, I've gone in and out of having different driving anxieties. Mainly highway driving. It's kind of more isolated. And it really, I go in and out of being fine, and then it's like, I don't want to drive on the highway. Like, I'm paralyzed by it. And it was really weird because I was doing fine, and then I had this trip back from Florida with my sister where I drove all of us the whole way home. And then after that, I started, every time I got on the highway, I'd freeze up again. And then for a couple of years, I just didn't drive on the highway. It was that bad. And I do 12-step work and Al-Anon, and, so I just started working on other things, but that was always kind of what is this? Why am I just avoiding this? And where's all this fear coming from? So finally I'm like, okay, I gotta really work on it. And, my sponsor and I one day, she's like, let's just go on the highway and drive. And we did, and it was fine. And she had me do some things, and I was feeling better. And then I was just forcing myself to do it again. I'm just going to drive to the airport, do different things, making myself just endure it, which I could do. I can push through, but I still kept feeling all this, what is this? So I finally was like, okay, let's deal with it. So anyway, I started seeing this counselor, and she kind of does brain work, and you try to go back through different trauma that could be kind of playing out now. You don't just have these phobias or these fears. A lot of times they're rooted in other things. So we have kind of been going down a rabbit hole for almost the whole year. And I've gone in and out of really being grateful to what am I doing in Mexico? Feeling why am I doing this? I don't really even want to be going to this. This is too much work. Is this really working? Forget it. I'll just avoid for the rest of my life. No, I won't avoid. I'll just endure. No, let's heal. It's just this weird tug of war because it's work. And sometimes it's just, I think the hardest part, it hasn't gone as fast as I would want for it to have gone. I thought, oh, I'll go in 4 to 6 sessions. Boom, we're going to knock it out a year later. Right. So I think there's been some discouraging parts, but it's really revealed so much. And I've been learning a lot about myself. I've been learning about how a lot of mine, things come early in childhood and play out. And once those kind of, I don't know the technical terms, but once it's attached to this part of your brain, it's hard to override that. And people can, and I know there's been different traumas I have overridden through prayer and fasting and just trusting. But for some reason, I just kind of felt like God was like, we got to really go deeper and really work to clean this one up. And we have, and it's been interesting, the different memories that we land on to try to undo and try to learn what I need to learn from these moments and let them go. So we've had some successes. I had a really good breakthrough the other day, and but it's a lot of work. But why did I bring up trauma? Oh, I don't know. But anyway, it's one thing I'm working on because it's been such an inconvenience for me. Um, and thank God for Google Maps. I mean, I'm like, avoid highways, and I have that technology that I can work around it, but it's just not ideal. I don't believe it's God's will or plan for me to stay in that place, and I'm not comfortable. Like if it didn't bother me, I wouldn't be going to therapy. I'd be like, no big deal, but it's like something in it. So, it's interesting how all that works, how we can get healed up in some areas and be doing really well and feeling really empowered. Just to kind of peel back that next layer and be like, okay, now we got to go work on that next thing. So I just think that's kind of how life is, right? It's like, I've been on a healing journey. I don't know, I guess I could say since I really stepped into that relationship with Christ, although those early years, I was just kind of, I think I just hid in the word in a sense. Like I showed up, I went to church, but I kind of hid in the word. I just didn't really, it's not like I wasn't living my life, but I really wasn't healed up from the past. So there was a part of me that wasn't really moving forward to the future, if that makes sense. I was raising my daughters, I was married, like I was living. It wasn't that I didn't have life and live my life. There was just a lot of places I was really stuck, but I could still function. And you kind of learn that becomes your normal, and I think a lot of people operate that way. And I don't know if it's a midlife thing where you finally hit that point where you're like, oh, I can't stay stuck anymore. Like I gotta figure out what this is. And that was what happened to me. Like at 39, it was like, oh, okay, I'm not okay. And I started getting more serious about going and pulling stuff out and looking at it and healing and talking about it. And yeah, it's been a journey. So I just want to encourage, 2021, I know I probably say this all the time. I'm getting to that age where I know I repeat my jokes over and over. But listen, if 2020 didn't put you in therapy, 2021 will. And possibly 2022. It's looking that way. Hopefully not. Like I have this big prayer right now. It's like, God, I just feel like the Israelites, and we got, our enemies are behind us, and like God sees what's happening with, these mandates and these enforcing these passports and the control. And I'm just praying that God's going to show up and just show us the way. And I'm praying, I'm doing everything I know to do to encourage those that are being challenged right now with everything going on. But I really pray God gets the glory for helping this global problem, because it's global. And that he's just going to show up somehow and just give us that way out, show us the way through what's happening. Because to me, wow, this is like, I feel like I'm living in a sci-fi movie, honestly. And I would imagine most people feel that way, right? And if not, then that's cool. If you don't, maybe you like this. I don't know. But it's just very weird. It's weird. And, yeah, so don't know what I was talking about. And, sci-fi movie and trauma. I don't think the cat's going to attack me again. At least I don't. Nope. He's under my feet. Okay. So, feel like Hunted, like the show Hunted. Every now and then, like a few times he slept in the room with my husband and I, and like all of a sudden, like in the middle of the night, it's just like you feel him coming up on you, and you just gotta like, I just try to hide my face, and he's pretty good though about nighttime, not attacking too much, but he does like the hands, It's like something about the hands he really tries to go for. And anyway, yeah, so I don't know what the encouragement is I, just keep on working. And I don't know, there's a part of me, it's like, why am I doing all this work? I'm already saved. Jesus, why am I working so hard. But you know what? You get to the other side sometimes, and I can't even say like, "Oh, guys, I'm out there. I don't even feel fear in this area." Like I know that it's going to take more work and a lot more courage on my end to probably just get back out there and keep facing. But you know, the whole goal of what the kind of work we're doing is trying to just relieve that anxiety and that PTSD that's associated with some of this fear. So anyway, yeah, so that's fun. No, it's not really. It's weird. It's like, is going and getting counseling fun? No. Sometimes you're just like, oh, I just don't want to have to think so much. And then there's other times I'm like, I can't get enough of it. Like I'm listening to different Audible books and I'm learning about this and learning about all sorts of character behaviors and different things that have affected me. And it's really kind of like empowering at the same time. But so yeah, I guess, I don't know. I don't know if anybody else is out there kind of trying to work through stuff. And I guess that's just life, you know. That is just life. And, right, I'm trying to think if I have anything else to talk about. And, yeah, so just working on doing a lot of writing these days. Don't have a lot of live gigs, which is okay and not okay. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what 2022 brings. I'm really working on some things that'll hopefully produce more work. That's the beauty of building a career in comedy. It just it's a constant, at least for me. You know, I haven't quite hit that stride just yet, and I was so excited. I got to film a Dry Bar comedy special at the beginning of this year, and they finally reached out yesterday, and they're like, you know, working on the last edits, and then the latest email was great. Looks, you know, I shared a few things, and then, okay, well, we are filled up till May of 2022, and hopefully we'll get this out in fall of 2022. And I'm like, oh, so like a year from now? That's wow. So anyway, just have to be grateful and know that, okay, not the timing I was thinking, although I knew from what I've heard that it does take a while. They've got a lot of comedians and great videos they got to process, which it's a really neat place, and everyone is so nice there. And I'm so grateful for every opportunity. Like every opportunity I get, I'm just so grateful for. I was hoping this one would kind of go quicker so it could produce more opportunities, but that's okay. I've got a lot of videos. I need to work on editing and pushing more content out. And yeah, so that's fun. Not really. I don't like to edit. I mean, I will, and I do. But I'd rather just be the center of attention. Just put the camera on me and let me do my thing. But, you know, like having to edit it all down, that's not fun. But it's really exciting when it's over and done with, and you're like, oh, look how I got all that together. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up. But thanks for tuning in. And leave comments and subscribe and share and like if you want. No pressure. I don't always do that. And I'm trying to really get better about, you know, leaving reviews for people and encouraging people, because why not? You know, that doesn't really take much out of me. So, and it feels more blessed to give than to receive. So I'm just going to plant that seed. Okay. So why don't you give a little bit, maybe in the form of a 5-star review. So yeah, anyway, you can check me out for more videos or content. I'm at JenniferO'BrienComedy.com. You can check me out on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever you view social stuff. Okay, that sounded really good. All right, well, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye. Bye to all my peeps out there that have been listening. Thank y'all.